Hi, this is Amy with Momma-Builds. Come build with me. So today I am in my Momma-Builds tutorial world, and this house is crazy, right? Like right off the bat, I what do you even call this house? I don't know. So, all right, here it is. Here's the story. I wanted to build a house with the warped nelium. That's this block right here. It's got the netherrack, and then it turns kind of into a warped wart block on top, so to speak. Not exactly, but so to speak, right? Same kind of colors and design. So what I wanted the netherrack block to come in, then go to the warped nelium, and then add the warped wart block on top of that and make it this cool kind of like from red to blue house. And that's fine, right? That's great. But what I didn't know, because I don't pay a lot of attention to certain things in Minecraft because I like to just build mostly, I didn't know that the warped nelium, if you put another block on top of it, that it just turns into the netherrack. And so I'm like, well, crap, there's no like gradual from the netherrack to the warped block. That looks stupid. And I really liked that idea because I made this house over here the other day with the warped block and I thought it was really cool. I love the white. Did the roof a little different here on this little pull out window that kind of comes out, jets out. And I think that house turned out really cool. And so I wanted to do kind of like a sister house over here, but have the netherrack and then the nelium. And by the way, I don't even know if I'm saying that right, nelium. If I'm not, I apologize for the Minecraft buffs. But anyhow, my kids weren't here to ask. So they're at school. So, I didn't have them to be like, hey, how do you say this right? So, anyways, then I started going down the Google wormhole to find out if I could place this block without it turning into the netherrack. And it said, yeah, sure, you just use bone meal. And so I was using bone meal. And yeah, it would turn the netherrack no matter where it was, where I put the bone meal, it would turn it into the warped nelium. However, a few seconds to minutes later, it would be back to just complete netherrack. So then I kept reading, and it turned out that if you put a glass block, a translucent block, that it should stay as the warped nelium. So far it's working, but that's why I have this weird like glass perimeter block all the way around that meets up with all my windows so it looks like one gigantic window. So I don't know. I'm just gonna go with it because I really, really, really want this weird warp nelium to be warp nelium and to like be the block between the netherrack and the warp block that kind of transitions the two. So that's what we're gonna do. That's what we're going with. Come on, and we're gonna finish it together. So as you can see, this house is not that big. I'm gonna show you from above. It's just like this huge long rectangle, and then I came out with the square. It's not symmetrically in the middle, and that's where I put my bedrooms and the den. I have two bedrooms. I'm going to make this a bathroom, I think, and then I'm going to make this a den because it's just too small for a bathroom. I don't think I can do a full bathroom in here. I mean, maybe I could do a bathroom, but I figured I would just do a den. And then over here, this is going to be my kitchen, dining room, and then living room here, and entryway. So let's go ahead and get started. All right. So, like I said, I'm starting with my netherrack, and I'm just going to, I guess I'll do what I did before. I'll start placing my windows. That's what I was doing as I was deciding how I wanted to do my inner walls. So I'll just keep with that little system here. So I'm going to go ahead and just place some windows where I think they're going to be good. I hope that they are because it's going to be more work to change them. I guess maybe not more work, but it feels like it is since there's this like continual glass block piece that's connecting everything. So then I'm going to go 2 in on this one as well. 4. How far did I do? I did 3 between. I'm going to do that same thing. 1, 2, 3. actually, let's do 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That way I can do the 3 by 3 painting and still have room for the torches. How does that look? That looks pretty good. So then let's do another 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll do that same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll do 1. What if I do 5 here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's, I don't think this is gonna magically match up, but let's look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, why would it? Why would it match up? That's the question. So that's gonna be a 4 by 4 block. So that's gonna be a big one, or maybe that's where I'm gonna put the TV. I don't know. Okay, so let's take our netherrack here, and we're just gonna fill in some of this bottom part of the wall. I still have some decisions to be made. When I started this house, I had like an idea of exactly what I was gonna do, but then that Nelium block really kind of just fudged everything up, and I didn't know for sure what I was going to do. And now I got this weird glass perimeter block around the entire house. And there's a part of me that's like, well, that's cool. That's different. You know, I've never really seen anything like that. And then there's another part of me that's just like, but that's not, what I was planning. That's not what I was hoping for. But I think overall it's going to work out. It's going to be okay. And it's just going to look like I came up with this really cool idea. So let's hope for that. All right, I'm going to join all of my windows up on top of the Nelium block, and I don't know what it is. Obviously the sunlight, I guess. It needs the light to be able to stay the Nelium block, I suppose. I don't know. I didn't really read much into it. I just, when I saw that that was a way to, like, fix the problem, I just dove right in. All right. It looks like we have one more row of the warped block, and then we can start going up and finishing that. Oh, that's gonna be a problem. So how are we gonna deal with that little problem? I don't know. I'm not sure yet. So we're gonna go like this, and we're gonna deal with that in a minute. I don't know why that's not matching up properly. Did I do something funky? Nope, that's correct on both sides. Okay. So at some point, we're going to have to meet up, and maybe that's what I'm going to have to do. Maybe I'm just going to have to make this go in. Like that. Get rid of this. Okay, so I will probably end up filling this in. And that's fine. Whatever we gotta do. Okay, problem averted. But problem not averted. Problem averted on the inside. Problem not averted on the outside. So how are we going to do this little number? Am I going to have to... So just give me a second while I figure this out. I didn't know I was going to have a problem, or I would have probably... Oh, really? This is going to be a total pain in the butt. Where does this start? All right, I'm going to finish it from this end, and then I'm going to find something. Don't you worry. We're going to do something. It's what I do. I find solutions. I'm going to find a solution. I'm just not sure what it's going to be yet. So this could be interesting. So no matter what I do, they're not gonna line up. They're just gonna be dumb and make my life miserable. Alright, well, this is gonna be the point. I don't know what I'm doing yet, but you know what? Yes, I do. I'm gonna do exactly what I did over there. I'm just gonna close it off. Okay, so let me finish up the roof over my kitchen here. We're gonna find a way to make this work. Now the reason why I was coming over and I did this to myself on accident and didn't realize that was going to be a problem. But it's going to be okay. Minecraft is fairly forgiving. So for a roof line, that's going to be fine on the interior. Let's finish up this outside part. So that's really the problem. The problem was I was assuming that I was going to be able to wrap my roof around, but the reality is I should have started on this end, and yeah. So that's all right. Hindsight is 2020. Luckily, Minecraft is forgiving. However, Minecraft play being recorded is not very forgiving. So we're going to have to come up with the solution here in just a minute that's going to be official. I know what I want to say, but this is a family-friendly channel, so I'm not going to say it. All right, here we go. We are going to group this stuff up. So that has to go there. This is going to come to there. That's going to meet there. We're going to do this, guys. We're going to do this, and it's going to be fine. So that's going to work. Because the great thing about it is that, you know, I wonder if I could just do like that. That looks nice, right? Like, that looks okay. I could dig that. That's good. It comes up like in a staggered diagonal, like it's intentional. We love it when things look intentional. And then, do I want to complete that whole roof? Or do I just want to go up one or two more and then do like a lighted giant skylight? I kind of tend to like that, but we'll see. Then here's another question. What am I going to use for roofing? On that house over there to break up all the crazy cyan, I was just like, okay, well, clearly I'm going to have to use a white block because it's just going to be way too much to use anything else. But with this little number, I don't really know. I've got the netherrack kind of like reddish burgundy colors, and then the teal and cyans of the netherracks. Or the warped blocks. That's going to be interesting. So I kind of like that. I'm going to go in and kind of see if I were to just cap that off with the cyan glass block. Is that going to look crazy? I mean, everything looks crazy in this house. It doesn't matter, you know, at this point. Crazy kind of fits in. So, here's the thing. There's no reason to do it if I'm just going to close up my ceiling here, which is what I was going to do. So, maybe we'll just say, no, it doesn't. It's not necessary. There's no real reason to do it. It's not going to bring in more light. It's not going to look all that great. So we'll just close it up. Do you hear the disappointment of not having as much light as I possibly could? I know. Alright, so here we go. We're going to finish this up. As always, because this is a tutorial, I probably will not get to show you every little last detail as it is. Like my little neighbor house over there, I went in and I added a couple walls around my family room because I felt like there was too many living spaces just like open to each other, because I ended up having to do it a little different than what I thought once I got everything built. And I'm just like, you know what? There was some things I needed to add, and I added those, and I need to do like another tour of that house already. So, just because I made a bunch of changes. So overall, I kind of like the look of the glass block. It's kind of cool in a way. It's nothing that I would have ever thought to do on my own. So interesting. All right, let's get rid of that. Okay, so now I need to make like a decision on what type of a roofing block I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna bother you by doing an entire roof, but there's a part of me that thinks maybe the the warped stairs would be okay. There's another part of me that's just like, you need to maybe just do the mangrove, because that's what you got going on in this house. So let's see. This The only thing I don't like about that is that kind of stops the whole warp block look. That's the other thing, right? It's just like I really think I have an answer to my problem. I really want to be able to see the warp block all the way around. And so what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to put this. I think that's what I meant to do. I think I meant to go up one more on this entire house. I really do. So that means I could solve the problem by going one more around everything. Which is what it looks like I'm doing. And I'm just going to leave the inside's going to get covered up by the ceiling anyways. So you're not going to know. So it's not going to make any difference whatsoever. But I think that's what I'm going to do. I think that was the problem. I found the problem. So I'm not going to have to beat stuff up weird on the inside. So I might fix that inner wall. That's above my entryway in the kitchen. And I might just go like that. So I'm not going to show any more of this. I'm gonna go back and finish all of that later, and I'll just do a quick tour because there's people that like the quick tours and don't really care for the tutorials to begin with. So I'll go back and I will finish that one block at a time, and then I just need to make a quick decision on what I'm gonna do. Am I gonna do the mangrove? Am I gonna do the warp stairs? And am I gonna come down more than one? What is that going to look like? So I think either could technically work. I feel like the warped just kind of blends in but has this other kind of busy look, and the mangrove kind of offsets it. So I think I'm going to go with the mangrove actually. I really thought I was going to go with the warped, but I don't think so. I think the mangrove it is. If it were going to be you, which one would you do? Feel free to tell me in the comments below. So I'm going to just do a couple of little lines here just to really kind of concretely decide that yes, this is the look that I am going for. This is what I want. And then I also would like to decide, do I want to come out and do a covered roof. I think I do, like a covered porch. So if I were to do, how far up do I want it to be? So it's going to need to be like there. Alright, so that's what I think I'm going to do. I'm going to do a nice little covered porch. I'm going to use the mangrove for my roofing. I'm just going to finish this little half right here, just so you can kind of get an idea of what this is actually going to look like. So let's take a little look. I think that's going to look cool. I think that's going to be pretty awesome. So let's go in and let's talk about the inside and just do a little bit of work together. So this is the first time I've ever done something like this. I wanted to kind of block off all the doors to my different bedrooms and stuff and not have them like, I don't know, visible from the main living part of the house. I wanted to kind of block that off and have these kind of traditional looking hallways because most of my living spaces are usually fairly open. I might have like some dens or a living room blocked off, and that's no biggie. But usually, generally speaking, living rooms and family rooms are usually done in a great room style, kind of open. That's the house that, the kind of house that I live in now is kind of the style of house that's really popular, that's being built everywhere right now. So I just thought I would kind of stick with that. Let's. I want to keep. I want to keep some of that blue, the blue perimeter. I'm going to keep it just like that. Normally, like you, because I don't want to have the ceiling go right to the window. So I'm going to come up, and this is definitely going to be where I'm going to close everything off. It's just right there. So each room will have a closed-in ceiling. They're not going to have vaulted ceilings, which is going to be fine because it's just going to be dark. And if we want, that can always become an attic, extra space. And depending on how much space we have in the living room, technically, it could even become a second floor. I could even bring out some dormer windows. I've done that before and have created more living space. There's only 2 bedrooms downstairs, and I generally have 3 to 4. I don't like doing smaller houses. I'm not good at doing smaller houses. Um, so we'll see how it goes. So normally my kids, they're always like, "Hey mom, can we do let's do a video with a build battle where we have to build this kind of house or that kind of house." I'm like, "Okay, yeah, yeah." And they're always just like, "Yep, it has to be small. It has to be small." They're just like, "You always build so big. It has to be small." They know that I have a hard time building small, and so I think they feel like they've got a better chance of winning a build battle. Although they've been teaming up on me lately, I usually will do a build battle with one kid, and then another kid will judge it. And they almost always now choose the kids because they don't want to lose to me. So they've decided to. Oh, I just boxed myself in. Um, so now they're mean to me. Whatever. What's new? All right, I can do this. Okay. It's a little precarious here. All right, that it is dark up here. But as you can see, you could easily push out in the front and make some dormer windows. That's windows that like come out that are part of the roofing. And easily make like one big giant master bedroom or a big like playroom or just like all kinds of stuff. So any kind of room you wanted. All right, so I'm just gonna get some light in here. All right, so technically I don't really have to have that, but we're gonna keep it. And I think I might even, so it comes in one, comes in one. So I'm gonna come right here and I'm gonna put this block just to give it a little more of the blue, have it be the same on both sides. And then I wish we could do blocks upside down. How cool would that be? Maybe I'll leave that open, and I'm just gonna do blue up here. But this might be a good opportunity for me to show people how to do dormer windows once you're building and you've decided, hey, I have all this extra space, I'd like to utilize it and make it a part of my build. It can be tricky, but it's definitely doable. That might be something. Right, it's getting a little crowded in here. Good enough for now. So, all right. So that's sky. Okay, good to know. I think what we're gonna do is close this in like so. Alright, that looks nice. Just clean it up a bit. And this actually doesn't have to be down, but I'm going to keep it down because that's where everything meets with the warp block. And then this has its own little ceiling like this, which I think I'm going to keep. I'm not exactly sure. I could like make it seem like this, like it has its own piece of roofing, even though technically it does not. Okay, I like that. It kind of defines each space, and I'm willing to yeah, to dig that. All right, so let's see what that looks like over here. Should we do it? Let's do it, I guess, would make sense to do it right there, right? Where there's already a block sticking out. Why is it doing that? Could you just work with me here? That's going to be helpful. All right. Okay. I will close that up later. Maybe I'll do it right now. I wasn't that worried because it was like super tight. I couldn't really fit and see very good. Alright, so I'm liking that. The inside of the ceilings are making me happy. So I don't know if I love this whole hallway idea or not, but I'm going to stick with it. I made a plan, and you know, if I don't like it, I don't have to do it in other builds. But as you can see, in case you didn't notice, but I did add a little bit of the mangrove planks throughout the exterior walls just to give, I don't know, just to give a little extra different texturing. Just kind of change it up. It's going to be a huge bathroom if that's just going to be a bathroom. But I'd really like this to be a den. Alright, so we've got it all lit up in there. Let's add some lights. Alright, let's go ahead and add some living spaces. So the first thing I would like to do is my kitchen and my bathroom. They use the same blocks basically. So I'm going to do my barrel, a furnace for the oven, cauldron for my sink. See, I might do some anvil seating because most of my kitchens utilize that as like a stool. When I go to do my bathrooms, and I guess with my faucets in the kitchen as well, I like to use a tripwire hook. Then I'm gonna come down and get a button. Let's go silvery. And then I need to do some sort of like a shower. So I either need to do the cyan glass that will go with the glass that's around the house, or I could do, I mean, red is really just not going to be the right color. I really don't think brown's going to work either. So I think I'm just going to stick with the cyan. It's going to go with the color tones. So I think that's going to make me happy. Let's go ahead and make this kitchen. Now the kitchen's also going to need like an ample walking space to and from the outside space there. So I like that. I'm trying to decide, do I want to kind of not have that and maybe come out this way with my island like that? And then and yes, I did that way on purpose. I'm gonna do those there. I might do some floating shelves in the corner, and then I'll do these guys right there. So I didn't choose something for a floating shelf, but let's go down. We'll do spruce because I feel like that goes with the barrel. It feels like the same color tone of wood. So I'm gonna go ahead and put my floating shelves right there, and then I'll have to come back in with some more lighting, but that's fine. Oven, where do we want to do our oven? We'll do our ovens there, sinks there, and then I'm feeling like, does this stick out? It does. So let's make this our refrigerator. And refrigerators need doors. So I already went past them though. I don't really want to use the spruce door. That looks too much like a real home door, so I guess spruce it is. Even though that's not what I really wanted. But it blends in with the kitchen, so I guess it's fine. Looks like a built-in refrigerator. Okay, so that is going to be my kitchen. I have ample space to get out to the outdoors while I have my kitchen stuff, although I already got rid of the I hate when I do that, when I still need something, but it's like the one thing that I got rid of. Okay, so that's going to be the little outside kitchen area. We'll worry about exactly how we want to decorate that later. Let's go in and do our bathroom. So this was going to be the bathroom. I'm going to make a shower, and I think I would like to make like a cool shower. Like something that's really kind of different than what I've been doing. So there's 1, 2, 3 on this side, 1, 2, 3 on that side, so it is symmetrical. I'm going to do the faucets like that. I don't have a toilet in my queue yet, so I need to decide where do I want the vanity, where do I want the toilet. I think I'm going to put the toilet there, and I'm going to give a little bit of storage on either side. And then I think what I'm going to do here is this is just going to be like a really nice vanity. Okay. What I wish I could do is make like a really big cool mirror, but it's so hard. What if we did? I don't know, could that pass as a mirror? No, it sticks out. It looks weird. I don't know why I always think I could do one. So normally what I've done in the past for a mirror is sometimes like a diamond block in the wall or something like that, but I don't think that looks all that great. But something I do with my kids is I'll do like an item frame. I mean, I could do like that, like it's one big giant mirror, but that's just too busy. And then we just put like that in there, so it's like, oh yeah, it's a mirror. Yeah, it's dumb. Got it. I know, but it's what I've done in the past. So I'm gonna do it today. All right, we're gonna go down. Put my toilet there. It's a lot of cyan, but I'm gonna do cyan rugs and cyan um, towels, aka banners. So I'm gonna do my rugs right here. You're gonna have a rug for when you get out of the shower. Then I'm gonna do a towel on either side here for anybody who uses the sink and washes their hands. They can use a towel. And then where do I want to put a towel for for the shower. I feel like maybe that's a good spot for towels for the shower. And then I'm gonna do a little I'm not gonna do matchy. I want it to kind of stick out a little and be super cute. So here's my little flower. I'm gonna do one right there. Alright, so super cute. I think that turned out pretty nice. That's a nice bathroom, pretty nicely sized. Now let's go ahead and finish up some details in our kitchen. I'm gonna put a flower there. I'm gonna do one maybe over here near the window where it gets some good sunlight. I have that already. We're gonna do like a little hand towel for the kitchen sinks. I'm gonna go ahead and make rugs for the different areas in the kitchen. And I think I'm liking that. The only thing that my kitchens usually have that I have not done yet is a cake. Basically because you can, right? I mean, that's really kind of why. Alrighty then, so that is my finished kitchen, except for maybe some more lighting, and then our bathroom. So I'm getting to where my time for recordable PS4 playtime is just about over. So I'm gonna finish up with a living room here, and then I think I'm gonna call it good. So to do a living room, I'm gonna want my bookshelf, and I want to do some sort of a chair for, you know what I think I'm gonna do? I think I'm gonna do white because there's just so much crazy coloring in this house. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on that side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on that side. Gives us 5. That's going to be 3. So let's do one more because I can. And then we're going to do like a nice big loungy sofa. Did that come out past it? No, it goes right to it. Like this, and we might do some slabs like so to make it look like it has an extending like sectional part. And then let's do, right, I'm going to bring in some white to go with the cyan, and then I'm going to also bring in, I feel like we don't have a whole lot of wood, so I'm going to keep my coffee table oak to go with the bookshelves and just kind of keep with that color combo. I think it looks nice anyways. So there's my coffee table. And I'm just going to go plain cyan. We're not going to do any crazy patterns or anything like I normally like to do, just because it's of the shape of the sectional. And I think that that looks pretty darn good. I'm going to do, while I'm thinking about it, a little entry rug. And then this will be the computer, not the computer. Hello, stupid. This is gonna be, that's the ginormous television. And then just a quick little den here And then I think we're just gonna wrap it up, you guys. And I'm pretty excited. I think that this house, when I get all the roofing done and I get everything placed how I want it, and I really would like to do some sort of a cool, I don't know, some sort of some way to get up there and maybe make some more living space up there. We'll see if I do that or not. I think this is going to be a pretty cool house. So, I don't know how you're feeling about it so far, but I'm pretty excited. I wish that I could have fit it all in one tutorial, but that's how it goes. All right, you guys, come on back for more. Like, subscribe. Let me know what you think of this crazy house. I don't even know what to call this house. The netherrack house of my glass block dreams. I have no idea. All right, you guys, come on back. Let me know what you're liking, what you would like to see more of. Please subscribe. I was really hoping to get to 185 subscribers by tomorrow, and I've only made it to 179. It's been going kind of slow the last week, so actually, last 2 weeks. So please, if you haven't subscribed, subscribe. Come on back for more. Let me know what you'd like to see. And as always, have a wonderful day and keep building.